Hey guys, and welcome back to the Film Fan Club Show, the weekly show on the Film Fan Club YouTube channel where we just talk about movies and stuff. This week, it's spoiler alert. We're going to talk about Suicide Squad spoilers. It's in the thumbnail right there, so I don't know why you clicked on it if you haven't seen Suicide Squad yet. If you want our non-spoiler review, I guess I should have told you earlier that we do have a spoiler-free review up right now. It's been up since the 5th. Make sure you check that out. Today I'm joined by Anthony Frazier from Movie Man Productions. How you doing, man?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. I'm happy to be back, man.
Yeah, it's been a while. We haven't seen you since I believe it was our Batman vs. Superman spoiler review. Yeah. So actually it makes kind of sense that you would come back for our Suicide Squad spoiler
Guess
review.
I'm the DC guy.
The DC guy. Yeah, you liked Batman vs. Superman.
No.
Have you seen the well, I mean, you liked you liked it more than I did, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I watched it a few more times after that, then I'm like,
it's not a film that that rewatches better.
No.
I noticed I like Man of Steel a lot upon rewatching it. I like it more, but with Batman vs. Superman, the more I watched it, the more certain parts kind of glared at me, and I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
With Suicide Squad, it's kind of the same way. Have you seen Suicide Squad more than once yet?
I actually haven't, but I may actually go today, maybe, because I really want to see it again.
I saw it yesterday with my Papa Larry. He likes to go see these kinds of movies, regardless of, like, we saw Fantastic Four together last year. So then we saw Guardians of the Galaxy the year before that. So August superhero movies can sometimes really work in the case of Guardians of the Galaxy, except I don't think you like it as much as I do.
Oh, no.
Then sometimes we all can agree they can go really bad with Fantastic Four. So we haven't really gotten your... well, I guess before we get to the Suicide Squad stuff, let's talk about what everybody was doing at the box office this weekend, like we usually do, opening up the show with the box office results for the weekend of August 5th through the 7th. Opening at number 1 was Suicide Squad, making it $133 million in its first weekend at the box office domestically. I think that broke August records.
Yeah, it did.
And Jason Bourne took the number 2 spot with an additional... There's a huge drop-off if you look at the number 1 spot and the number 2 spot and everything else, because then it goes down to $22 million for Jason Bourne.
Didn't they come out, like, last week?
I think, last week it was its first week in the box office, I believe. And then Bad Moms retains the number 3 spot, making an additional $14 million, which now it has about $50 million that it's made on a $20 million production budget. Secret Life of Pets made an additional $11 million, bringing its domestic total close to $320 million. And it is just announced a couple weeks ago they're making a Secret Life of Pets 2, so they're obviously very happy with it.
So did you see the first one?
Star Trek Beyond jumped from number 2 down to number 5.
That movie hurt.
With number 10, it made $10 million this weekend. Did you not like Star Trek Beyond, or?
It wasn't the best, I'll say that.
Do you like any of the new Star Trek movies?
Oh yeah, I love them. I do.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I thought this was the best of the trilogy, actually.
Seriously?
Because I wasn't as much, because it felt like what they were trying to do with the other... I forgot to say, 9 Lives, which we do have a review of that that went up yesterday, the Kevin Spacey cat movie. It was in number 6 with only $6 million at the opening weekend. It's a box office bomb. But check out my review. I had some good laughs with 9 Lives. But back to Star Trek Beyond, I thought what they were doing wrong with the first couple of movies, I guess what didn't work for me, was they were trying to take old stories but put a new tone with it. They were trying to do Wrath of Khan again, but add a new layer of tone to it. But now it seems like they're taking the fun, exploratory... Is that a word? Exploring, I don't know, the fun...
Exploration.
Yeah, the fun exploration tone of the original series, and now they're applying it to new stories, which is what I liked about Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah, I don't know, because I have things I do like about the new Star Trek and don't. One, I don't like how they perceive Kirk as always getting his ass handed to him, because it wasn't like that in the series, but... I do love Spock. He's a badass in these movies.
Spock's a badass in this. I liked Carl Urban as Bones. He had some pretty good memorable stuff in this last one.
Yeah, I don't like Carl Urban as an actor, but like if it's him, in Star Trek right now, like what he's doing right now.
I think so far this has been the one thing that stands out to me that he's done. Then again, I haven't seen Judge. I think he was in some of the Dredd stuff.
Yeah, he was in the new.
I didn't see that, so I don't know if he's good in that or not. Someone who didn't unfortunately get highlighted enough was Anton Yelchin.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
he unfortunately passed this year. Rest in peace. And Leonard, it's weird because I wonder if they would have known if that he was going to pass, if they would have highlighted him a lot more. Because especially with Leonard Nimoy, you know, they had this whole subplot about how his character had passed. I liked that aspect of it. Did you?
Yeah, I love that. But the thing about, I forgot his name, Anton
Yelchin. Yeah, he played Chekhov.
Yeah, but he died like
way late in the game. Yeah, it's kind of like a Heath Ledger situation almost.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if it happened like way earlier, they'd obviously do like a little memoriam or something.
Yeah, something in the film, kind of add some reshoot stuff. I don't know. Everyone is afraid of reshoots. But yeah, what else stuck out to me about the opening weekend box office is that, it's just that Suicide Squad did so very well. Jason Bourne, I haven't seen any of the Bourne films. Did you see the new one?
I love the Bourne franchise. I did not.
Noticed you almost said trilogy there.
Yeah, I'm lucky because I forgot about Legacy. I forgot about Bourne Legacy.
Did you like Legacy?
You know,
as a standalone kind of adventure, I've heard that it works, but as a Bourne movie, I've heard it's not as good.
Yeah, that'd be right. Because I love the action in the Bourne movies. That's the number one thing about the Bourne movies that makes it a Bourne movie is the action, like the over the top, just everything. This one, Jason Bourne. It was a little boring, honestly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was honestly a little boring. I wasn't used to, because they had scenes where it had potential to be like a big, gigantic action scene, but they're just like, no.
Kind of wimped out with it, is you're saying. Oh, wow. I thought, Alicia Vikander, Matthew Damon's coming back. I think the director, Paul Greengrass, came back, right?
He did. But another thing is, like, some of the acting in that movie was just terrible.
Oh, no.
And then, what else? The good thing, though, the climax of the film, like the very last car chase,
it works.
It's perfect.
Awesome.
That was a Bourne movie.
So was Alicia Vikander? Was she included in the bad acting in there, or because she's the female lead, I believe, the new female lead. This is her first in the Bourne franchise. I loved her in previous stuff like The Danish Girl, etc. Ex Machina.
She was in Ex Machina.
Yeah, she's a robot. She really became that role too. So it was kind of
It's just that you could tell she had an accent. But she was like trying to mask
She was masking it. Was she like playing an American in this
Yeah.
film? Okay, so no.
So
Fake American accents can be very noticeable sometimes if they're not done well.
Like friggin' Benedict Cumberbatch and friggin'
the Doctor Strange trailer.
Yeah.
I'm not into the powers of belief.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nothing about chakras and You're not British, are you? So yeah, that was the opening weekend box office. Let's move on for time's sake. One thing we're not going to spend too much time on is there is a new Rogue One trailer coming on Thursday the 11th. We're recording this on the 10th. We were all, I think, pretty pissed. Star Wars Celebration. Whenever did you hear about those rumors? There's going to be a new Rogue One trailer coming out of Star Wars Celebration, and then all we got was that little behind the scenes thing. So I was like, what the heck, guys?
But I think they showed some footage at like Comic-Con or something.
They showed it, but like to the crowd, not to the main people.
Because apparently Darth Vader they got like a silhouette of Darth Vader, and everyone was like went crazy. I was like, I wish I was in that crowd. But
I know. It's like that's good for you guys, but like it seemed like we were all going to be getting it, and they did not come out and deny it, and Disney didn't say one way or another purposely because they wanted to. And plus, there is that special that aired on ABC that night, and everyone was like, "Oh, you get to see a new Rogue One trailer there," and it's like, so we watched that, and it's like. There's no Rogue One. It's the same behind-the-scenes thing. It showed the same behind-the-scenes thing from earlier that day, and I was like, that's a huge disappointment. So now we're finally getting the trailer, and as proof, we have a confirmation from Lucasfilm that has the synopsis, and it says, from Lucasfilm comes the first of the new Star Wars standalone films, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, an all-new epic adventure. In a time of conflict, a group of unlikely heroes band together on a mission to steal the Death Star plans, the Empire's ultimate weapon of destruction. This key event in the Star Wars timeline brings together ordinary people who choose to do extraordinary things, and in doing so, become part of something greater than themselves. So
that first sentence that you said, it reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy.
An unlikely band of
any
heroes.
team-up movie. That's what it is, right?
Suicide Squad. Yeah, exactly. So what do you think about this whole whole synopsis, and then what do you expect to see in the trailer tomorrow?
Okay, I want to see Darth Vader, but I know we probably will not see him.
Oh, I hope we do. I will be pissed if we don't.
I want to see him, but I don't think that would be good to see him because he's such a genuine character. Like, you don't want to like see him in a trailer.
You don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, because like if you see him in the movie, Like, he has like that perfect moment in the movie. You know he's gonna have that perfect moment where he comes in. That is gonna be so worth. This is gonna be so worth the wait. Honestly.
I think it would. Yeah, it would if they stick to it. But I think it's more critical to show Darth Vader in the trailers more so than something like Spider-Man in the Civil War trailers, because that logic would work, I think, with the Spider-Man stuff perfectly, because they didn't need to show Spider-Man to advertise Civil War. No. I think with Rogue One, there's still some people that see Felicity Jones as Jyn Erso and talking about the Death Star, and they're like, oh, they recast Rey for Episode 8. I can't believe it. Why are they doing that? I can't wait to see Episode 8, and they just think this is the next part of the saga. And so I think showing Darth Vader, again, there could be some stupid people that are like, oh, they brought back Darth Vader for Episode 8. But, I know. But I think that would be a huge cue to major audiences that, no, this is set in during the time of the Rebellion, during the time of the Death Star, when Darth Vader was alive.
What if they did something to, like, you know, they show the whole trailer at the end, you're like, Palpatine be like, arise, Vader. And then, like, you're like, Vader. And then you just hear that, and then it just goes off.
I'm getting chills remembering the Episode 3 trailer. I know this is kind of a tangent, but man, the Episode 3 trailer, which has Lord Vader, yes, Master.
Yes. Oh
my goodness. And then it cuts like all the action between him like coming up on the thing, and it's like, oh man, that was so cool.
Oh man, to this day, I still say that
that's a great trailer.
Revenge of the Sith was probably like the only movie Lucas had to make for like
the prequels. Yeah,
he really didn't need those.
What sucks though is when we get to that scene in the movie, immediately following that awesome build-up. He's like, what happened to Padme? Is Padme alright? Is my girlfriend okay? It's like, shut up, you're Darth Vader! Shut up!
Oh
God damn it. Oh man, so yeah, that was the Rogue One trailer. I'm really excited for that. I hope they show Darth Vader. I guess we both agree. Darth Vader is what we want to see.
Yes.
Will they show it? That is entirely up to Lucasfilm, because there's an argument to be made on either side, because they haven't shown Darth Vader yet at all.
No.
I think what you suggested though, the best thing to do would be like maybe like after even after the title comes up, you just hear like a
oh God.
And then December 2016. It's like, oh man,
my God, I just something. What if, like, you just see, okay, I don't know the main character's name.
Jyn Erso. The female,
So, like, you just see her down the hallway, she turns around, like, you see something, and
then,
like from you do, like, an in-between the leg shot, and then you...
Oh, my God. Yeah, like from the scene from the last trailer that we saw, and then you see the reverse of that, and she's looking at Darth Vader, who ignites his lightsaber, oh, my God!
Damn!
That would be so good! Now we are setting ourselves up for
man.
disappointment tomorrow. Holy crap. That'd be so cool. Damn. It's almost like how whenever we saw that trailer for Episode 7, I thought that I was hoping that they would have Luke Skywalker show up and fight Kylo Ren with his green. I was like hoping that would happen, but like it didn't happen. Obviously, it was still cool because they still had that awesome scene with Rey grabbing the lightsaber and fighting him. So, but oh man, that was cool though. So yeah, let's move on from that and some more exciting stuff. Warner Brothers, despite spoilers for Batman vs Superman, Superman being dead, who knows if he'll come back? We don't know. I say that so sarcastically. They're making a Man of Steel sequel now, apparently.
I wonder if it's gonna be set after Justice League.
I think, it's gotta be.
Yeah, it's have to be.
Because I believe his return will be in I don't know. It's all really weird at this point where they're going. But now they're doing a Man of Steel sequel in the works at Warner Brothers. So basically another solo Superman movie is coming at some point. Villain, who's gonna be in it? Metallo. Who's Metallo? I was thinking something like Brainiac, who I barely know about.
If they did Brainiac, that'd have to be for a Justice League movie, I think.
Do you think they would? I've heard that before, and that always sounded more interesting to me than like Darkseid. Because Darkseid is such a generic Thanos / Apocalypse / random gray big strong person who can, it's like, I don't know, I want to see someone who's not only interesting character design, but poses an interesting threat to the Justice League, which is what I've heard that Brainiac could be.
You know what, I think I take back Metallo, actually, because Metallo's not really like a big villain.
Oh yeah?
He's kind of like not minor, but he's in between there.
Okay.
But I think
he could be like featured in one maybe, but he wouldn't be the main antagonist, you're saying. Okay.
But I think a better villain for a standalone Superman movie is freaking probably Mongol. I would love to see Mongol in a freaking movie.
Monocle? Who's Monocle?
Yeah. Okay, so you're watched the old Justice League series?
As a kid, not like in the last few years or so.
Okay, so do you remember when there'd be these episodes when he'd like go to like this planet and he's fighting this one dude and he's like kind of like in a gladiator arena.
Kind of, yeah. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, the dude was like purple and he's really strong and whatnot. Well, he had like a purple suit.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
like some Planet Hulk style stuff.
Yeah, I would love to see because Mongol has like this old freaking. I can just imagine it right now. He just comes down from like the sky because he has like a whole army with him.
Yeah,
like a whole bunch of different gladiators from all different planets and whatnot. And like, go against this new Superman. Apparently, it's gonna be a freaking Superman with long hair. You know, like the whole Last Son of Krypton.
That's what people are saying, but I don't know how they're saying they're hoping that's what how Superman's going to look when he comes back in Man of Steel, or I'm sorry, in Justice League with the long hair and the black outfit. But I'm like, man, people were complaining about Superman being too dark and too like having too like much of a dark color scheme in his suit in the first movies. So like, why would you want him to come back and suddenly be like even darker? I don't know. It's a little. I get some mixed messages from DC fans sometimes. Yeah. Like, obviously, I don't think the tone's the problem. I think that the writing and the kind of studio throwing their footage through a wood chipper and just seeing what happens kind of doesn't really work. But yeah, who should direct it? I think George Miller would be an excellent choice for Mad Max Fury Road. Would be an excellent choice.
Yeah, because George Miller was going to do the Justice.
There was rumors. Yeah, he was going to do. Well, yeah, no, he was set to do Justice League back like in 07, 08.
Oh yeah, because it was like Justice League Reborn or
something like
something about the gods. I don't know, but
I remember I knew the name at one point, but I forgot it. Justice League something. I don't know, but yeah, I'm looking forward very much so to a new Superman movie. I don't see necessarily why it seems like Zack Snyder's feels like he's like been promoted to like the Justice League movies now.
Which
so like,
I wish he wasn't, because I think the person that should take over freaking DC for the because I know Jeff Johns, he's the head of like the whole creative stuff now.
Yeah,
I'm happy for it.
He's president and CEO, I think, of DC Films.
Yeah, he's perfect. But I think for direction wise, they need to go with David Ayer, because after seeing Suicide, I'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah,
after Suicide Squad, like I'm convinced like that's got to be the guy. But like,
wow, okay, strong words.
Yeah, but for Man of Steel, I want to go with I think George Miller would be, because at one point they said he was actually going to do the sequel to Man of Steel.
Yeah, he's been rumored for Green Lantern, Man of Steel, Justice League, everything he's been rumored for at this point, and it's like I just want to get him in there and get him to do something. And especially, go ahead.
Like, I want someone to do Superman justice, because...
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say, yeah.
Because he's had literally a movie and a half.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And saying a half is arguable. So have you seen the Ultimate Cut of Batman vs. Superman?
I actually haven't.
So good. I have it right behind you if you want to borrow it. And it adds in a lot of great Superman subplot. The entire subplot of Clark Kent kind of not enjoying, or not, liking what the Batman's doing with his vigilantism and like branding people and stuff, that it's so much better explored in the Ultimate Cut. And so whenever you actually see Superman, whenever Batman's in that car chase and he sees Superman around that corner and Superman looks pissed, in the theatrical cut you're kind of like, why? You're just now meeting each other. You're just now like even caring about this guy.
I know,
in the Ultimate Cut, it's like, oh my god, no, we've spent 30 minutes with him actually investigating, going along with, not 30 minutes, but spread out over the course of 30 minutes, him becoming more and more questionable as far as with the Batman. So whenever he finally decides to, when you see your light in the sky, don't come to it. It's like, oh man, I feel that you're pissed. It's not just like, okay, that's really random. Why are you so mad? Like, So yeah, I'm excited for seeing more of Henry Cavill's Superman explored in general. Yeah, so something else that happened, Chronicles of Narnia reboot, The Silver Chair. Surprisingly enough, they're rebooting Chronicles of Narnia, not with a reboot or remake of Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, or whatever chronologically takes first, which I don't believe is The Silver Chair. I thought so. Yeah. They're just instead doing the fourth book in the franchise, so it'll be like it's a sequel, but they're just going to reboot it with a new cast and everything too.
Wait, it's heading to Sony?
Sony's TriStar division, which is weird. Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, because it went from Walt Disney to 20th Century Fox for the third film, and now it's going to Sony TriStar. So this has been like musical chairs as far as the studio behind the Chronicles of Narnia movie. Firstly, I'm excited because I think I told you this just before we started rolling. I think they could bring like a Lord of the Rings kind of / Harry Potter feel to the Narnia films, which is what they kind of hinted at in the first couple, but then they started to get away from it kind of with Prince Caspian, and then in the third film they completely abandoned it and kind of did like a Lord of the Rings, Pirates of the Caribbean kind of thing.
Yeah, I never did see
that didn't work. I didn't see the third one. I saw the trailers and I was like, that does not look good. And the second one we both agreed was really boring.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm kind of foreshadowing. Are you very interested in a reboot, not a sequel, but a reboot of the Narnia movies?
Well, I mean, they have no choice at this point because all the kids are like freaking like.
That's a good point. Yeah, you can't unless you do it animated or something.
Oh yeah,
it's like series of unfortunate events. If we were still like the year after the movie came out, I'd say do a sequel. That I would love to see a sequel to a series of unfortunate events.
They have a show on Netflix for it now.
Yeah, they're doing it, and I can't wait for that. But which is what you got to do now for that. But like, yeah, and it's like, but if we were still like within right in the first couple years after the second or third movie, I'd be like, okay, do a sequel. But this now it's so many years. It's like, do you want another Narnia movie? It's like, yeah, then we have to do a reboot. Yeah. So,
I don't really trust Sony with their films, honestly.
They're really kind of, I don't know, really. It's all over the place. You never know. You don't know what you're going to get with a Sony movie, which unfortunately has become that with the Warner Brothers movies and with you could say X-Men movies too. I think because of Apocalypse, I was really let down with. I love Deadpool. Love Days of Future Past. Hated Fantastic Four. Was really let down by Apocalypse. So with the Fox Marvel movies, it's kind of like we don't know what we're going to get. But anyways, I guess so. Anything else about the Silver Chair that you think? Who would be a good director for that? Because it may come down to whether we're interested in this. May come down to the talent, the behind the camera.
Yeah, honestly, okay. I know. Okay, I got two. One from I know for sure is not going to do it.
Yeah,
but if Peter Jackson, he's like the only person.
Oh man, if they could get Peter Jackson,
yes,
I would buy my ticket immediately.
Yeah, either Peter Jackson. Oh, actually, I got two more. Michael Duncan or freaking Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau would be cool.
Yeah, because I think he could bring the magic into there. Because look at Jungle Book, like
I loved Jungle Book. I have a poster in my room, which you can't see because this is the podcast. But yeah, it's I love that movie.
I still haven't seen it. So.
Yeah, you haven't seen it?
No, but I feel like I just feel the magic through the trailers. I still want to see it though.
Oh, he brought exactly what you said. He brought magic to the magic of the animated film. He brought to life, but also in a way where you're not like it doesn't feel dated. It feels fresh. It feels new, but it's also everything you wanted to see in a Jungle Book movie. Yeah. Some people have said if you're gonna do a live action Jungle Book movie, this is probably the best you could do it. That's not what I said. I just think it's a damn good adaptation. But that's what some other critics are saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think David Yates would be kind of a cool. He did the last 3 or 4 Harry Potter movies, and he'd be a good choice for it. I can't remember the guy who did is it Chris Columbus or someone who did the first couple of Harry Potter movies too? He's a name that you could consider. He does maybe not Chris Columbus because he also did stuff like Night of the Museum, I believe. I don't know. So he's done a lot of those like shittier like kids movies that aren't as good. So yeah, he's kind of I don't know. I might be wrong on that, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, David Yates would be a name that I like. Your choice of Jon Favreau and Peter Jackson. Who's in the middle? Michael Duncan.
Yeah.
From what has he done?
He did one of my favorite movies of all time. Is freaking. Well, if I can remember the title. But like. No. Source Code.
So yeah. Well, that's I've heard a lot of people say that too. They're like, the one with the great Jake Gyllenhaal movie. I'm like, Source Code, really? And they're like, yeah, apparently.
Wait, but the other movie that he just did was World of Warcraft.
Oh, I liked that. I liked World of Warcraft, actually. Not a lot of people did. I gave it like a 6.5 out of 10, I thought. It was a pretty good film. As far as like adventure movies go and in a video game adaptation, I was like impressed with it.
Yeah, it's hard to do that.
Yeah, it's hard to do video game adaptations. So let's not waste any more time. We've already heard my thoughts on Suicide Squad. And we're going to get to spoilers, especially so if you've been watching and haven't really cared about the spoilers up until now, we're going to get into Suicide Squad, so be warned. Anthony, what did you think of the film?
Well, glad to say that I loved it. Because I went in this movie with low expectations for a reason. Because I'm like, it's DC, they're all sorts of messed up right now. But, maybe this one won't be too bad, but I'm not going to go in with, high hopes.
Did you like Man of Steel?
I loved Man of Steel.
Okay, and you were mixed on Batman vs. Superman?
Yeah.
Leaning more towards the positive or negative?
I just want to lean towards the positive so bad, but if I didn't see Superman die, okay, I would have been alright maybe if Superman died, but like the part where you just see the rubble fly up,
yeah,
you didn't need to put that in.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
You didn't, yeah. It would have not made any sense. But I guess that's why they were able to put pictures of him with the Justice League now, and we saw that. One thing I loved about this film, and I think they've done a great job of establishing it, it made me kind of feel, it gave me that feeling again that the Batman vs. Superman gave me, is like, oh my god, I feel like we're living in a world where like events happen and they affect each other, like, which is something Marvel was able to start doing, but now we're starting to get that with DC. It's like, okay, the death of Superman is felt over here, and then with the thing that says like remember, and it's like Amanda Waller's narration talking about how the world's changed since Superman, and again since he died, and I'm like, okay, I love living in this universe and feeling like we're here with you, and I feel like they really captured that well.
Yeah, see, that's one of the things I freaking love, because they finally just made because it felt like a comic book.
Yeah,
it felt just like a comic book, and that's how you're supposed to make comic movies feel, like a comic book.
Yeah,
like. And then I love freaking Batman's cameos, even though he had like a few lines.
With the Deadshot, it kind of bothered me. The daughter thing, that he did it in front of his daughter. It made me kind of feel like maybe Batman would have just traced him to like an area where he could get him away from his daughter and not like put him in the dick position. Like, okay, what are you gonna do? Kill me in front of your daughter? Like, come on.
Because it seemed like Batman was scared of him. He's like, oh god, he's gonna kill me. Your daughter. You don't want to do this in front of her.
But although, what I was afraid of, and they didn't do, and I gotta give him credit where credit's due, because I hated Batman killing in Batman vs. Superman. Killed like, I think it's been confirmed, he killed like 20, 30 people in the movie. Someone did a kill count, and it's funny to watch. That's not counting the nightmare scene, where it's a dream. But they didn't. This version of Batman, just from the cameo we got in the Suicide Squad, is a different Batman. It felt like than in and as Hannah Abert walks into the studio is my room. Hey Anna, make sure you check out her artwork and stuff at hannahxabert.wix.com/home. She's very talented. She's gonna be creating a store soon. So what I liked about maybe we'll see. So what I liked about Ben Affleck's cameo in this film is that it felt like, no, this is a Batman who is not going to brutally like slam a guy's head against a wall until his blood splatters all over the place. You know, he's like,
or shoot up people with their own guns.
Take a machine gun and murder like literally 30 people right in front of you. So this is a different, and I like that because I was afraid because of what people have been saying. But this was all before I saw the Ultimate Edition. But everyone was like, oh, you don't realize Batman learned a lesson with the death of Superman. I was like, bullshit. They did not show that. But in this, I'm starting to get, and with the Ultimate Edition, they did show it a little bit. But with this, I'm starting to say, okay, I'm buying into the fact that Batman's learned his lesson, and he's going to be a little bit of a more recognizable hero going forward.
Yeah, my thing though, that kind of bothered me with the whole him trying to take down Joker and Harley, is that it didn't feel like they knew each other. Like, even though they know each other, but
that's a very good point. There's supposed to be a history between. Awkward. Yeah, he's chasing after the guy who killed Robin at this point. Because it says right there that Harley Quinn is an accomplice in the murder. I like that little aspect with the little dossier thing. It says accomplice to the murder of Robin.
Yeah, which I missed that.
I noticed like one time, like in my first viewing, I noticed it something murder Robin. I was like, what, murder Robin?
Yeah.
And then but then I saw it in the second viewing. I was like, okay, that's what it says. That's cool. But then so yeah, you're right. In the scene where he's chasing her down, he's chasing down the people who killed one of his best friends.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like he's mad about it. It feels like Ben Affleck's doing a cameo in a movie.
Which no, never mind, I've been wrong.
What were you gonna say?
See, because I was thinking maybe that little flashback was set
before
they killed him.
It could have been.
But no, because he still had his grill and his tattoo on his forehead.
You're right. Yeah, because that's something that we meant with David. Well, let's talk about it. Yeah, with David Ayer, he mentioned explaining why Jared Leto has the grills and the stuff. He says, and the damage tattoo. He says, well, the sort of thing is my personal. This is my personal thing, and maybe less about a larger connection. But to me, the Joker killed Robin. Basically, Batman smashes his teeth out and locks him up in Arkham Asylum. It's in the asylum where Joker would have done the damage tattoo as a message to Batman, saying, "You've damaged me. I was so beautiful, and now you've destroyed my face." I think that's where the grill comes from. Is what David Ayer said, explaining the grills and the damage tattoo. So yeah, you're right. Jumping off of that, the flashback that we saw, where he obviously has the tattoo and the thing. This is set after the death of Robin.
Yeah.
And what do you think about this quote right here?
I mean, I think it was kind of like bull.
Yeah,
honestly, because
kind of stupid.
Because I still have this theory. Because at first I was gonna forget the theory because I was thinking Suicide Squad was gonna be set before Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that in your and when we reviewed Batman vs Superman back in like March. Which make sure you check out that episode if you haven't yet.
Yeah, and like they just threw a curveball at me. I'm like, oh, so my theory could probably still be, reliable. Because I'm thinking, because I keep saying, I mean, I think this might be actually Jason Todd because. Okay.
The Joker. The Joker could be Jason Todd.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if they killed Robin, they probably didn't kill him physically. It's probably like they're just saying like mentally killed him or something like that.
Yeah, destroyed the idea of Robin. Yeah, because there's no Robin now. Okay.
Because I'm thinking like, I don't know, because this Joker, he doesn't seem all like flamboyant and whatnot. It's like
he seemed more like a Hot Topic gothic kind of like a slash Scarface on meth kind of guy.
And also one thing, how's he able to freaking so he's able to crash a Lamborghini into the ocean, and you look back and he's gone.
Yeah, like you look like literally
a helicopter in the freaking like skyscraper, and you look back, he's not there. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, there's only one person that can do that, and that's Batman. And who is he trained? Jason Todd. Yeah. So
I'm buying into that. What honestly, what happened was David Ayer actually came out a couple weeks before Suicide Squad came out, and he got asked again about the Robin thing. It was weird because it went away for several months. Oh yeah. And it came back, and he was like, and they were like, okay, so is he Jason Todd? He's like, hell no, he's not Jason Todd. Put a stamp in it, said no. And why I think that, and I didn't think that he was Robin until he said that. I was like, this has been put to rest for several months. Why are you making such a staunch decision right before the movie comes out? Like, unless you're trying to do a Swiftie. It wasn't revealed in this movie that who the Joker is, because they didn't even do anything with the Joker.
What if he's not even Jason Todd, though? What if he's like Dick Grayson? What if he's like a different Robin? Like,
I hope he's not Dick Grayson.
Or Damian. What if Damian killed Dick or something, and then Batman's like, oh god, I'm going to have to take you out.
Damian would be the weirdest, craziest situation they could do for the Joker could potentially be.
I can see this as Damian, because he doesn't look like he can... Well, we don't know, because we only saw Damian.
No. So with the Joker, let's just talk about the Joker. I guess they didn't do a lot with him in the film. He wasn't in it very much. And one thing that bothered me, because they had. Well, I guess I got to give credit where credit's due. That in the film, not including the flashbacks, the relationship between Joker and Harley, I bought into. I liked it. I'm coming after you, where he's hell bent on getting to her and being with her again after they've been separated for however many months.
Yeah, because it felt like he was like trying to get rid of her at most of the points, but then he's like, I just can't seem to stay away from you.
Now, where they screw it up is pretty early in the film, I guess, but they kind of have to. So they're spending the rest of the film working back towards getting me on board with it, because at the beginning of the film, the very first part of the Joker we saw in the trailer, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to hurt you really, really bad. And that's revealed he's talking to Harley Quinn, and he gave her electroshock. Oh, yeah. Hated that. I hated that because it took away her choice in the factor. The thing about, I've always thought, maybe if I'm wrong, you could tell me about this, but in the comics I always thought Harley Quinn, she went crazy because he seduced her with his words and with her mind, and then she, because of his words and his coercion mentally, made the choice to become Harley Quinn. This instead it goes halfway there. It's okay, she made the choice to give him a machine gun, which was not subtle at all. I would have liked a little bit more subtlety with her, because they made a good, compelling argument is that she thought she was curing him, but really he was making her go crazy. I loved that, and then it's like, I need a machine gun. It's like, what kind of person is gonna give him a machine gun?
But I
and then they electrocuted her
before.
Oh, with her, because they started. They gave a little hint of that, yeah.
Yeah, because like the crazy was coming, but I think the thing though was like when he did the electric shock thing, I think he fully made it just come out.
Yeah, he sped up the process a little bit, which is what I thought which is where I felt the film was taking a little bit of a shortcut. Because, well, actually, what's weird is I felt like you could have cut out that whole scene with the electroshock, and you could have I need a machine gun, blah, we can fill in our heads what happens after that, but then you could cut to the scene where they're standing above the vat, and then instead it's like, okay, now she's broken him out of Arkham, they're together, she's not Harley Quinn yet, but now it's like, will you live for me? Like, are you willing to do this for the rest of your life? And that's and then you could just take the whole electroshock thing out of it, and I think it would have made their relationship so many times better. But what did you think of Harley, I guess, as a first-time introduction to her in the live-action film universe? Did they nail it?
They nailed it.
I think so, too.
Because I came in, because to be honest, I don't like Harley. I didn't like Harley Quinn because she was like Deadpool. Everyone just like hyped about her so much, and it just got annoying to me. I'm like, I don't really care for this character.
Yeah.
And then I saw this movie. I'm just like, I'm a Harley Quinn fan now.
Yeah, yeah. I like Harley Quinn. I like. It's weird. I kind of agree with what you said. I don't like the Deadpool version of Harley Quinn that they kind of been making in the comics recently, where she's on her own. I like her with the Joker because not because I want to see a woman get put into a bad situation with a bad person. It's just because I'm really fascinated with like the psychology of their relationship, why they're, and even more so with Suicide Squad, where they make it more of an even leveled thing, where he's obsessed with her just like she's obsessed with him. In their own sick ways, they will burn the world down to be together. So I thought that was very interesting for this film, and it really worked. And so that's why I like about, and then so yeah, but I don't really like the on her own Deadpool kind of like sleeping with Deadshot and all that, which is something they did in the Assault on Arkham movie, and they didn't do it in this film, which is I kind of give them props. I thought they would.
Yeah, I feel like if they do another one, I feel like they're gonna lean more towards that because it was starting. Like saw some
it was there. Yeah, they could go there if they wanted to in the future. But I guess what'd you think of the ending of the breaking her out of Arkham with the Joker? Not Arkham, I guess, because where they're at is in somewhere in Louisiana. Not even
Blackgate, I think.
No, I think it's like called Belle Reve or something like that, and it's weird because I'm like, you have all this cool lore about these awesome prisons in Gotham City. Why not just go there? Like, it would have been even cool. Like, if it was Blackgate, and I would have been like, cool, that's from the comics. Yeah. Just give me a little bit of that. Instead, they just like, let's make it it's like whenever they did Arkham Knight, and it was spoilers for Batman Arkham Knight. Have you played it?
Oh yeah,
how it ends.
I loved it.
Yeah, it's Jason Todd. Pissed me off. Just give us Jason Todd. Then give us full Jason Todd.
And then he turned to Red Hood because there's a little malfunction on his helmet.
Yeah, like, stupid. I just told my buddy Caleb Benton, who I went to go see Suicide Squad with. He loves Arkham Knight, so I kind of go because he was real. I told him about he never played Arkham. Have you played Arkham Origins?
Yeah.
And so the spoilers for Arkham Origins. The twist of that game is that it's really the Joker, and I told him that, and he thought it was so lame. And I was like, well, here's why I think Arkham Knight's lame. And then I kind of, and then I recommended Under the Red Hood to him, and he watched that recently.
My favorite.
Yeah, he likes that too. So, but getting back to Suicide Squad, we talked about the relationship between Harley Quinn and Deadshot in general. What did you like about Deadshot? Did you like Deadshot?
I love Deadshot. He's probably my favorite character.
I liked because it was a good choice to make him the lead.
Yeah, because I'd excited that he was going to be the lead at first. That was all going to be about Harley, but apparently it wasn't. I also liked how it was just Will Smith. He could just be himself.
Yeah, he to a degree, he didn't do the whole I was afraid he was going to overshadow everybody and be like, hey, I'm Will Smith, I'm the action hero, and it's like, no, they didn't make him the action hero. They made him a little bit more of he still has a questionable past, but also, man, that scene at the end, or there's a couple scenes with him as the end where he's he talking to Joel Kinnaman. They're finally in that bar scene. How great was that bar scene, by the way? Love that with Diablo's moment and then Deadshot's moment where he's like, well, we're gonna get you there. This is gonna be like a chapter in the Bible, and my daughter's gonna know that her daddy's not a piece of shit. And I'm like, see, I'm with you. I get you. That was good.
Yeah, it was a great movie. That was a great scene.
And people were criticizing that scene. I'm like, what's wrong with it?
Because it reminded me of a Quentin Tarantino movie. Yeah. Because it was because you have all this action style stuff going on, then all of a sudden, I don't even care. Let's just go to this bar. Yeah. And then we talk, and we get more into the characters and some of the lore around them and all that, and it's perfect.
Yeah, the critics are I don't want to say critics as a blanket term because I hate when people do that. I did a whole rant about it. Check that out if you haven't yet. But some people have been criticizing that scene as the whole world's coming to an end and you can just go off to a bar. It's but they're criminals. Yeah. They are at the point where they don't care if the world ends because that's the point. And then in that scene, that's when they decide that they care about saving the world. That's not except for Captain Boomerang, who was they made a great comedic moment where he ran away, but then they brought it back and he's there for no reason. I'm like,
it's a boomerang.
Yeah, I noticed that the second time I watched it. I was like, oh, he's actually like a boomerang, and I got that. But then and also a little scene like that with Harley Quinn where she runs off with the Joker and then she comes back. It's like, hey guys, I'm back. It's like. In real life, I feel like people would be mad about that, you know? Regardless of who you are. If you're a criminal, this lady almost got us killed because her boyfriend was literally shooting guns at us, and she was running off with. That was a cool scene, though.
Oh, yeah, it was. But I don't think they cared too much because, we're going to die either way, so, I mean, you know.
The movie's called Suicide Squad. Yeah. Yeah, a good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really good scene, actually, now that I think about it. the villain. We haven't talked about Enchantress yet at all.
Oh yeah,
I hated Enchantress.
Me too.
She was terrible. She was, and especially the second time that I watched it, hated her, and like infinity times more because she did the hula hoop dance thing.
Yeah.
Her brother who has no name, which you said is from the comics. Yeah. Apparently, you could have made that up, and I wouldn't. It would have had such a thing, which is why sometimes it doesn't. You don't always have to take stuff from the comics to make it good, because it can still be pretty bad even if it's something from the comics.
Because I was thinking, oh, is that Trigun? Because I kept looking at him like, that looks like Trigun.
I'm so glad it wasn't.
Like, oh, it's not.
Yeah, thank God, because that would have been the biggest waste. Warner Brothers, if you're listening to the Film Fan Club podcast, why aren't you supporting our show? And secondly, do a Teen Titans movie and make the third film about Trigon. I think the first film should be about Deathstroke. Second film should be Brother Blood. Third film should be... well, I love the arc with him in the Teen Titans animated show, so I think you could make that into a cool movie. Yeah. But then, third film should be Trigon. Anyways, so yeah, with that scene with the Joker was great. The Enchantress, awful. And speaking of the two, why didn't they just make the Joker the villain? Do you think that would have worked a little bit better?
No.
No.
Well, he wouldn't have a reason. Like what was it? I don't understand.
Well, let me pitch it to you this way. Okay, Batman vs Superman ends with Bruce Wayne essentially going on the world. Now that we know from the Justice League trailer, he's running around the world trying to find all these metahumans with Wonder Woman. So he's not in Gotham City. What if the Joker does something crazy, like takes over Arkham Asylum, or goes on a crime spree or something? And Amanda Waller realizes, we don't know why, but for some reason, there's no Batman right now. We need to put together someone to stop the Joker. And then that's when they're like, let's pull together the Suicide Squad. Now you have to do some explaining as to why Harley Quinn's on the Suicide Squad if the mission is to take down the Joker, because that's pretty stupid. But I think especially with breaking into Arkham Asylum, and you'd have to do some explaining as to why you can't just already have him in Arkham Asylum, because that's where Harley Quinn is supposed to be at. But I think that'd be a cool plot, and it'd make for a more compelling villain at least.
It would be cool, but my thing though is that you would have to introduce like a whole bunch of like other villains.
Oh yeah, with an Arkham Asylum plot. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're gonna have to lock down those actors for future movies for like 10 years from now. Yeah, you're right.
And then plus, that's pretty much like the Arkham Knight. And plus, Batman would come back though. Like if he knew the city was in trouble, he would come back.
Well, you could make that argument about the current movie that we saw, was that the Midway City is again. I hated that there was a giant blue.
What city was that in? Wasn't it?
It was. I think Midway City. I believe is where the Flash lives. Yeah. Right. I thought.
I'm like, where's Flash?
Yeah, I know. And he was in the. And the thing is, Batman's in the film. He's in the film. They act like he's active. They act like Flash is active, which is weird because I also thought that Flash got his suit from Bruce Wayne.
I think he does, because I think that's the thing, because
I think place at the same time.
I don't think Flash is a hero right now though.
Yeah, I know, because we saw the surveillance. He's supposed to be like a hobo looking dude that's going to convenience stores and like just occasionally like knocking out people who he runs into that are doing. Now he's not supposed to be like actively. I don't know. Yeah. It's weird, and it's like where are they going for a Flash movie now? Is that going to be a prequel? Is that going to be I don't know. But so yeah, for the ending of this film, it bothered me because it was like, where's Batman, where's Wonder Woman, and where's Flash? Because we know that those three people are active, and so they should be there. If there's a giant blue beam of death going up into the sky with trash flying around it and a witch-like lady destroying stuff, they should be there.
Which I really didn't care about that too much, because it's just like the filmmaker saying, it's time for like another, breed of heroes to like shine, because we don't always, we don't always need Batman, we don't always need Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it was good. It just doesn't make sense. That's all. It's like, I get why you have to have Ace, but also I feel like if they would have made it a more personal story, even if you take the Arkham Asylum pitch that I threw at you earlier out of it, if they just would have made it less about the world ending, or if they would, that would have made it a lot better, because you wouldn't have had to explain why Batman, like, this is supposed to be a covert operation that will get most people killed. So like, send him to a foreign country somewhere to go steal something, or send him to somewhere in. What I like about the Assault on Arkham game is that the mission is to break into Arkham Asylum to stop or steal something from Riddler, I think. And so it's like it's this cool. It's kind of it's in tune with the comics, kind of the outline of the plot, and then it was able to fit in a lot of Batman Easter eggs, so that's always good.
Yeah.
But But yeah, I don't know. So what are some of your favorite things? We've been focusing on a lot of the negative. Let's kind of try and get back to some of the positive stuff. What are some of your favorite things about Suicide Squad?
All right. Okay. One, the character chemistry.
Oh, I love. Yeah, you're right. Good point.
Gosh,
your opinion is the right one. Yes.
I know. And then for the style of the film.
I like that. Did you like the musical choices?
That's another thing I was going to say. The
music.
Yeah,
I liked that. Some people were kind of put off by it. I was like, it gave the film a flavor that Batman vs Superman didn't have. Batman vs Superman kind of. I don't want to brag on it too much because it did a lot of good stuff, especially in the Ultimate Edition. But it did feel like 99-cent Dark Knight.
Yeah.
This did not feel like that at all. It felt like. It, in some parts, felt like Hot Topic a little too much, threw up on the screen. But some parts, it felt like a distinct, different kind of superhero film.
Yeah, it did. And that's why I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. This is why I think David Ayers, I think he should be directing the freaking... I think he should be start doing the...
Yeah, you want to expand on that a little bit more? Okay. What in this film made you want to say, this is the guy that they should be talking to for future movies?
Okay, here we go. So last night, me and my uncle were talking about this. So DC has this thing compared to Marvel. They're just too dark and they're too down to earth. All right.
Yeah.
It's like
in some cases. Yeah. I wouldn't down to earth. I guess maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
And they did try to end the world in this movie and in Man of Steel.
Yeah. But so yeah. But with Marvel, they're all like, this is a world where you can do whatever you want. This world gives you hope. You know? But in DC, the world just sucks, This is bad. This is bad.
Our own superheroes are hated by everybody. Yeah.
And the thing about Zack Snyder, Kevin Smith even said this once. You could tell he's only read one comic book his whole life, and that was The Dark Knight Returns.
Because he's based in the entire universe. And some people were saying that before Batman vs Superman came out, and I didn't want to admit it because I really wanted to see a good adaptation of The Dark Knight Returns. But they're like, maybe this isn't the best comic to base your universe on. I'm like, maybe you're right now that I've seen the movies.
Yeah, but what David Ayer, what he did though, he brought. I saw the magic from comics in this film, and he made it a lot livelier. It was still his dark sense of humor, but you could tell you're in another world in this. Unlike Batman vs Superman and. I love Man of Steel, but Man of Steel felt like that too.
It did, yeah, because it was a year after Dark Knight Rises. They were still Christopher Nolan was an executive producer on the film, so it's like they were trying so hard to stick with something they had that worked for them.
Yeah,
and they just didn't realize that. Okay, well, what works for this won't work for this, won't work for this. You know. So yeah, I think there's some pretty good points. I don't know if they should really. I don't know. David Ayers. I wish they would have just let him make a movie in the first place. He said that this is his director's cut. The theatrical cut is his. I don't know if that's a political thing to say. Yeah. If he's saying that just because he wants the movie to make more money, or if he's trying because obviously he doesn't want to come out and say shoot himself in the foot like Josh Trank and say my cut would have been so much better. But also at the same time I don't think he has some wiggle room. I don't think him saying the director's cut is the best choice because I feel like there was some definitely. You hear so many rumors, especially before the movie came out, and then you see the movie and it lines up with some of those rumors, the rumors of a trailer park company coming in and recutting the whole film to fit all the musical sequences. And in the first 20-30 minutes, it feels like it feels like a trailer. They're going from scene to scene to scene with song to song to song. So
but I don't know. I just feel like this guy. I feel like he could do it at least for Justice League. That's what I want to see him for. But for standalone movies, you can let whoever, except Zack Snyder. But yeah, because it's just he just brought that. He brought the color and he brought the lightheartedness of comics into a movie in the DC, and that's what I feel like that's what they need. They need to, because obviously they're trying to be different from Marvel, but if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't. You don't want to make all your movies exactly like it, but you do. I think their approach of doing everything entirely differently has not been working out for them. They should maybe course correct a little bit, which is what they tried to do with. The thing that sucks is they tried to course correct after Suicide Squad had already finished filming, and now they're trying to course correct while Justice League. The script is done, but they're filming, and they're trying to course correct while they're filming, and I'm really afraid that they're gonna. Do it a little bit. Just kind of screw up the because once you have a vision and you start trying to fit that vision to fit another vision, you get a muddled mess. It's kind of what I'm really looking forward to now is Wonder Woman, because that movie looks like it has a distinct style. The trailer played before Suicide Squad when I saw it yesterday. It looks great. It's got a different director that's not David Ayer, for better or worse, and it's not Zack Snyder, for better or worse. It's got Patty Jenkins. It looks like she's got a great vision behind it. Gal Gadot seems to be improving with every bit more footage that I see from her, because I wasn't entirely on board with her in BVS.
Yeah, because I was always wondering how they're going to do that.
She sounded a little wooden, but then in this new trailer and then some of the more footage, I'm like, okay, maybe that's her character's just kind of got that stoic kind of personality to her, but
you've seen the lightheartedness.
Yeah, she's adding a little bit more personality to it. So yeah, it's working. So I'm looking forward to the DC universe moving forward. But I do think they got to fix this whole okay, well, wait till you see the deleted scenes, guys, because in Suicide Squad there's a whole subplot where the Joker comes back at the end and fights the Suicide Squad right before the final mission, or right before the final battle. Really? Yeah, because you remember that scene where you see him with his half of his face burnt, and he pulls on the grenade, he's like bye bye, and he's got the gun, and he's pointing it at people.
I have not seen that.
It's in the trailer, and there's a whole plot where he comes back in the end before his eventual surprise cameo at the end. And there's a whole subplot with him like that,
Really?
Yeah, and it's just so weird that they chose to cut some of that out to focus on Enchantress.
I heard that this movie was originally going to be rated R, but then
there's enough stuff in there for it.
Yeah, but then I think David Ayer, he was all like, I think we need to hold back on this a little bit because we saw Deadpool, but I mean, obviously we're not going to be as good as Deadpool.
Yeah.
So we don't want to try and compare.
Yeah, you don't want to try and be Deadpool if you can't be.
At this point, I'm thinking, because I love Suicide Squad that much, I think I might have liked it a little bit more
than Deadpool.
That's just me. That
is just me. That is just
Deadpool
you.
was a pretty damn good movie.
I loved. Yeah, I mean, you're not dissing Deadpool. You're just saying you like Suicide Squad that much. So that would, I guess, the next question to that would be, what would be your rating for Suicide Squad out of 10?
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10. So I'm really glad that I was able to get you on here today, because I gave it like a 4.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I was hoping that it'd budge up a little bit more for me, but it didn't. I just really think that DC's got to work, because they got to figure out how to make a good theatrical cut of the film. I really think the Ultimate Edition of BVS improved it quite a bit, but still, it was a 6 out of 10, and that's not, what you want to start your universe off of as a 6 out of 10, even if that's your director's cut, It's like, oh, man. And the thing that sucks with Zack Snyder is everyone disses him, but I love Watchmen. I love Watchmen. Maybe you don't. Do you like Watchmen?
Watchmen was all right.
I saw the director's cut my first viewing, so I never saw the theatrical cut. I saw the full vision of what he wanted to do with that. So as a first viewing, that was really good. And I was like, this guy's going to be... And I love Man of Steel. For those two, I'm like, this is going to be great.
Because Zack Snyder, he did some good movies. But but his thing, though, because he loves... Okay, I remember him saying, he loves Batman. He loves Batman.
You can tell,
but the thing, though, is if he wanted to do Batman, he should have just...
did a Batman movie.
No, he should have just did freaking the Dark Knight stuff. He should have helped Christopher Nolan out with that, because that's obviously what he wanted to do.
You know, Christopher Nolan's kind of more of an auteur, I think, than Zack Snyder is, because he's actually and he has the power too. But that's what I love about Christopher Nolan. He's like, no, I'm just gonna do 3. Like, well, are you sure you don't want to have $100 million and do Justice League 2 and have everything? No. Yeah. I'm gonna do 3. I have the story that I want to tell, and I'm gonna tell it, and then I'm gonna leave. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. He's got a new movie coming out too.
Yeah, Dunkirk. Did you like the trailer?
Oh yeah.
I love the trailer. I guess I forgot to mention the trailer for Dunkirk came out in between now and the last podcast we recorded. So thanks for mentioning that. By the way, I really liked it. Saw it yesterday. Have you seen the extra in the film in the trailer that looks like he's not doing his job right? There's an extra in the scene where they're looking up and there's the bomb, I guess, coming or planes coming, and you can see him in the bottom right corner of the screen. He looks.
I heard that was Harry Styles.
Oh really?
I was like, oh.
It'd be funny. Oh man, I'm a little bit worried about what he's gonna do, or how well he's gonna do. But he's with Christopher Nolan, so a lot of time bad acting is really bad directing. Yeah. So
I just want to see who's all gonna be in it. I don't know any of the cast or anything.
I don't know a lot of the cast either. I don't know. I know Wally Pfister's not coming. Well, not that that's anything with the cast, but he's not going to DP it. So, and speaking with bad direction, Joker bothered me in some of the stuff that he. The scene where he's supposed to be quote unquote intimidating, and I forgot to even mention before we close out, because we only have 5 minutes or so left. The Harley sex slave stuff where he tries to give her to Common as his gift. What'd you think of that scene?
I was like, pimp. Like,
I hated
that's
it.
not Joker. He's not a pimp.
And that's
like,
that's not supposed to be and it's weird because that's not their relationship for the whole rest of the movie.
No.
So it's just weird that they chose to go there, and I think it's a bad maybe in a full like if you watched every piece of footage they shot for this film in chronological order, maybe it would make or quote unquote chronological order for the timeline of the film. Maybe it would make sense.
I think,
but it just didn't in the theatrical cut.
I can see why he did it though, because I think that was another thing that he was trying to do. I think he was like trying to get rid of Harley again, but then he found out I can't live without her.
Yeah.
Again, I just thought about that.
It was weird. It was It reminded me of this episode of That 70s Show where Jackie's flirting with this one dude, and then Fez is flirting with this one guy, and then at the end of the episode, it's revealed that they're actually a couple, and they just like to see each other flirt with other people. And I'm like, that's what. So that really, you're telling me that. And also, Enchantress. So yeah, Harley and Joker were ripping off of an episode of That 70s Show, and Enchantress, meanwhile, was ripping off the plot Pirates of the Caribbean 2.
Oh yeah.
Glad I got that out before at the 54-minute mark of this episode.
Yeah.
If you guys are still watching, that's what I thought of Enchantress's stupid heart plot. I hated it, never want to see it again, and that's why I'm so tired of these. Let's get back. Come on, I miss the Christopher Nolan villains, man. I miss Scarecrow. I miss Ra's al Ghul. I miss the Joker from that series. I miss the down to earth, not cosmic, not mystical, not powerful, not all omniscient.
Yeah. My thing though is that DC has some of the best freaking villains.
They do, and
Enchantress
is not one of them.
No. I guess like they didn't want to do anyone too big, even though it kind of felt like Enchantress was like kind of like going to like destroy the world.
Yeah. I know you didn't want to. It's like you didn't want to get anyone iconic to raise the stakes, but you still wanted to raise the stakes. Yeah. So instead, you get this bland mess that we don't care about. And just what makes me so mad is you had the Joker there. You had the Joker. You could have used him. You kind of did. Didn't really. Scenes like that where it's like. Where the helicopter turns around and it's like, oh shit, no, that's not our guys, that's the Joker, and it's like, and he starts murdering everybody. I'm like, that's cool. Imagine if that was the villain. Imagine if that was actually a bad guy instead of just this guy who shows up every now and then. So that's it. That's our thoughts on Suicide Squad. Spoiler filled. We got 8.5 out of 10. Even though lots of complaints to be had. No film's perfect, though. 4.5 out of 10. And really what I've been saying with Suicide Squad is that really it just comes down to what bothers you more. If these problems don't bother you that much, and the stuff that there is to like about the film, and there's stuff to like about the film, if you like it more than the stuff you dislike, then you're going to like the film a lot more, disproportionately so to me, and that's fine. Everybody's opinion is different. So let's talk about real quickly, the last couple minutes, what's coming out this weekend? Pete's Dragon, Sausage Party, two very different films. Anthony, what are you seeing?
Probably, if I had to choose, I'd probably pick Sausage Party.
Sausage Party?
Pete's Dragon, I'm just like, I don't know if I could sit through that one, because it reminds me of BFG, and BFG doesn't look too well.
Did you see BFG? And you didn't buy into that at all, that kind of, film.
So, Spielberg, like we said earlier, he's
losing his magic a little bit.
Touch.
For me, actually, it is going to be Pete's Dragon, because I saw the first film as a kid, long time ago. I haven't seen it in like 15 years. It was a good film as a kid. Didn't really like musicals at the time. Interested to see if this new one will be a musical. Heard the new one. It's kind of you'll kind of cry a little bit. So I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood to cry. I'll go see it. I like touchy films, like Pixar films. I was a little bit pissed with Inside Out that I didn't cry. Even though Bing Bong tried to make me cry. Sausage Party I'll probably get around to seeing, but what am I going to see first? Probably Pete's Dragon, because I just don't like raunchy comedies as much as some other people do.
Yeah, I love Seth Rogen. That's my only thing.
Seth Rogen, yeah. If there is someone that is going to sell me on a raunchy comedy, though, it's going to be Seth Rogen, because usually he hits more than he misses, even though he's kind of he doesn't always hit, but he hits more than he misses. So before we close out the show today, would you like to talk about some upcoming stuff for Movie Man Productions? Or we haven't. I think you haven't talked about any stuff since Closure. So anything on the YouTube channel we should check out or keep an eye out for?
Okay. Well, let's see. My freaking film from Skills Nationals is on there.
I think, we haven't even talked about your state championship win either on the show. Yeah. So award-winning Skills USA short film.
That's right.
And then also you went and competed at the national level, top 10 in the nation, with your follow-up to that. a little bit looking forward to next year, probably a little bit more so. So, were you exciting stuff in the future?
Well, actually today I'm gonna start my first episode of Off Topic, is like my podcast I do.
Hell yeah! You have to have me come on sometime.
Oh yeah, of course.
Return the favor. Come on.
Yeah, for real. And then
So what are you gonna be talking about today on the podcast?
Well, today we are gonna be talking about, we're gonna do a compare and contrast between Batman vs Superman and Civil War.
Civil War.
Because
that'd be cool.
Yeah. Because there were a lot of like
similarities.
Yeah, there were. There actually were, and I was surprised looking back at both of them. So I'm like, okay.
What's weird is Civil War kind of. I don't know. I don't want to keep bashing on it, but like Civil War does a lot of stuff right in that. It's Batman vs Superman. It's just like see, here's how you do it a little bit better. And then, so that'll be on your YouTube channel, Movie Man Productions.
Yes, and I spelled the name right this time.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'll put a link in the description of this video to your YouTube channel, and as well as you have a Twitter and a Facebook page, and Instagram, all that stuff.
All that, yeah.
Just check it out, and we'll have to get you back on.
Also, I've got a new short film coming up.
Oh, what's it good?
It's in fall. I need one more actor. Hint, hint, Sam. But like,
well, see about that.
Yeah, but like, so yeah, it's just because I'm getting a new camera, I want to test it out. So pretty much like a little short film about this girl. She gets abducted, and it's pretty much like by this guy. You know, he seems all nice, but then he knocks her out. She wakes up in the woods, and sees like this little laptop, and he has like this little video cast saying like, "Hey, you better run, because I'm about to go hunt you down," and all that. So she's pretty much running from.
That sounds mysterious. We'll have to check that out. And for me, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Samuel D. Carrico. Thanks again, Anthony. And for the Film Fan Club Show, we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot, guys.